Hey, Jalen, nice to meet you. What, just if you could just share with us a little bit about what it's been like since you've been in Tallahassee. You seem like a guy that makes friends quickly, but how quickly has it been to become comfortable here?
Yeah, no, definitely. It's a pretty quick process for me. I think I'm a really open person, like a friendly guy. I like talking to people, sharing my personality. And sometimes that does not go well, but most people super inviting, and especially in Tallahassee, it's been nothing but smiles, handshakes, and positivity while I've been here. So I really been enjoying my time here, and I even talk to y'all a lot of time when y'all out here. So it's really cool hanging out, talking, nothing other than just a blessing being here, really.
All right, next we'll come over to your left for Brendan. How did you get the nickname Joker? Seems like maybe the personality might be part of it, but I'd be curious to know the whole background to it.
Yeah, we all seen the video. So in high school, it's kind of a dumb story, but in high school, I've been playing DN, right? So we had packages and formations my junior year where I would get off the ball, play linebacker, in-box linebacker or out-of-box, walk down, whatever it was. But it was just the same way you would say nickel or rover, whatever. It was just a signal term for me because I'm a defensive lineman getting off the defensive line. So it was that was just kind of our term for it. And my senior year, when I was kind of doing everything, playing offense, receiver, running back, all of that, and when we was in the Wildcat, any of that, they would say Joker this, Joker that. And when I got to my junior college before I came here, my coaches kind of just started calling me that when they was in the process of recruiting me. And when I got on campus, they kept calling me that, so the players kind of picked it up. The same way every friend that you have, you didn't ask their name, you just heard it from somebody. So I guess they just heard from the coaches and it kind of kept going, whatever. That's kind of where that came from, and then it adopted into the personality.
All right, we'll stay there for Chris.
What was day one of Tour of Duty like? And just talk about kind of the way you tried to hit the pavement running since your arrival here.
Yeah, no, definitely Tour of Duty. Flat Vietnam, but it was for sure something. The hardest thing about it really is that knowing that as bad as it could possibly be, it's on us. So it's already genuinely pretty bad, but we make it worse by not finishing through lines and not giving full effort or whatever. That's I guess what we're trying to drill into ourselves, because on Saturday when we're in dope, just like last year, there's so many times when one player, one big turnover or whatever determined the fate of the game, and it's all about finishing through lines and doing the little things right, and I guess that's what we're focusing on.
All right, we'll go to the second row on your left for Peter.
Hey, Jalen. You're listed at 245 pounds. Do you see yourself trying to gain more weight before the season starts, or so? What's the weight going for you before camp?
Yeah, no, right now I'm staying at 245. I put on and take off weight pretty easily. It's kind of always been my thing, but right now I'm staying at 245, and it's just all about what I can play at. So I played, this past season about 240. So as long as if I could be 300 pounds moving like a super fast DN, then why not be as heavy as possible so nobody can touch me, right? But somewhere in that 245, 250, 255 range is where I'm probably gonna be playing the season at.
Next question will be front row on your right, Bob.
Hey, Jalen, good morning. Can you tell us a little bit about the junior college experience? What was it like for you? How did it help you develop into who you are? And just, is it a different world for some extent from coming from junior college to a Power 4 program?
Yeah, no, definitely. It's something that's not for everybody. It's definitely not for everybody. There was a time when I used to, ask why me or whatever, but I realized that it's just part of my journey. It's something that God had for me, and it's whatever the reason, whether it was because I had to mature more or learn more about my position or the game or the fundamentals and nuances of why I'm what I'm doing on the field and where I am in space. I think I just developed physically, mentally more as a player. And while I was there, it not that I wasn't already a hungry player, but it's kind of different because when you're there, you couldn't even be there for 4 years. You can't even. It's not D2 where you could, be there 4 years, have a great career, get picked up like Trinidad Chambers did this past year, or maybe go as a late draft pick or undrafted free agent or whatever. You kind of have to get out of JUCO. It's not like baseball where you can get drafted out of JUCO. So every game, every year, like it's a grind, it's a hustle, like every single day. And then especially with so many guys, like a lot of people look at, JUCO that don't know about JUCO and say, oh, maybe he had bad grades or like but a lot of guys, like it's a lot of bounce backs. It's a lot of guys that, had D1 offers that, whatever. So it's so much competition. And if you're not bringing your best every day, you're not gonna get to where you wanna go because you're the only person that's gonna push you there. Like here, the resources we have, the people for example, in Tour Duty, they're trying to break us. So they're telling us like while we're gassed, can't breathe, like have to stay up, don't bend over, all that stuff. They're trying to get in our head, trying to make us like react, whatever. There's no one at JUCO that's gonna do that for you. Like you have to do that for yourself. You have to want it more than anybody. And you have to do that like for days and weeks and months, even when things are going wrong.
All right, we'll go back to Ira, second row on your right.
Have you already had a chance to spend much time with the guys at your position group, and what have they been like so far?
Yeah, no, definitely. Our position group, I think this about just about anywhere I've been. I've loved my position group. I think we're like really close knitted. I feel like the D line is especially like the DNs, we're really similar personalities in the sense that we like to play around, we like to have fun, but we turn that mode on and we get to work mode when it's time to work. So when we get out there, it's nothing but competition. It's when we're doing ball get out, we racing to see who can finish first. When we're doing walkthrough drills or whatever, I'm correcting somebody's correcting me on the foot placement, something I might have learned at JUCO, they might have learned here or there or whatever. So like it's a lot of competition and pushing, but when we're off the field, like we'll go eat hibachi or we're going to eat with T-Night tonight. Like it's a lot of good relationships, a lot of good vibes, and we've been clicking really well off the field.
We'll come back to Brendan over here on your left. If I can follow up on your junior college journey, you mentioned like there was a point where you're like, kind of, why me? Why is this happening this way? What was maybe the lowest point, the most difficult point to kind of get through in that process? Obviously, you've gotten through and it's worked out pretty well for you, but what was the most challenging time, I guess?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think, and this kind of takes me back. It takes me back every day I'm here. It takes me back to this point. Not in the sense that I'm at a low point now, but at my lowest point at JUCO was kind of when I first got there. I'm sure I was making friends with a lot of people, building relationships, whatever. But it was really difficult for me to realize that I had to like climb the ladder all over again. I was at a new place. I was around guys. Some of you might know them, but we had like AJ Prim, Charles Atkins, guys with like D1 offers already, and I'm trying to beat out guys that are D1 players, and I'm coming out of high school. So it was a really low place for me. I felt like I was messing plays up. I felt like, if I wasn't perfect and, it almost felt like a massive mountain to climb every single day. And there was times when, I started to feel like, wow, maybe I really can't climb this mountain because, similar to like everybody here in the building and playing football, like most of us had a dream of like, since we were 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, oh, I want to play in the NFL, whatever. And I've never stayed away from that. Like even when I, only had my JUCO offer, I kept saying like, I'm gonna play in the NFL, this and that. Like I probably aggravate people saying that. But then I got to JUCO and I felt like I hit this massive brick wall and I was like, wow, like maybe I really can't do this. And that took a really big blow on my mental health. But I just kept praying about it. I stayed close to God. I listened to what he was telling me. I focused on myself, focused on how I could get better on and off the field, and how to like, navigate all of that stuff like while being in junior college without the resources that we have like here and stuff. And I just overcame that with God's help. And the reason I say it's kind of similar here because I feel like I'm, once again, which this is to be anywhere to be expected. I'm re-climbing that ladder. I'm gonna have to establish myself. When I'm in the weight room, I gotta, lift heavy. I gotta lift heavy weights. Let everybody know, like, I'm not some freshman. When I'm in the, when we're practicing in the indoor, I don't have time to be sluggish and be behind and, take 2 extra weeks to learn plays. Like, I'm not a freshman. I have to be a guy that's ready to play and ready to work.
Anything else for Jalen? When the microphone gets over there, we'll go to Matt.
You're one of the more animated coaches when it comes to the flag football thing. What, like, and I know that's who you are, but what, like, is that kind of stuff really fun for you to be able to coach those kids?
Yeah, it's actually really fun. I'm not gonna lie. Last week, when I was driving over here, I was definitely looking forward to putting some I'm passionate about it every week, but it's not even just as much about me having fun myself. I couldn't imagine being a little kid, at Florida State University, playing football where we play football, being coached by one of the players, and they're not looking at me as a player, they're looking at me as like, oh my gosh, like this is the guy on TV. Like, so I couldn't imagine that as a kid. So I'm the same way I expect my coaches, you know, Coach White, Coach T-Knight, Coach Nick, all those guys to pour everything into me, even though it's little kid flag football, it don't matter. We gonna get that delay game call. I'm giving it everything I got to get though. And it is fun. Like, you know, I get to pour into little kids, you know, about the things that I'm passionate about. I'm super passionate about football, so it's just a fun experience. And I know how much this could really shape a player. You know, I know how much of a memory this could be for a child. So.
All right, we'll stay there for Ira.
We got to see T-Knight coach last year, but Coach Nick's new to us. What's he like personality-wise and as a coach?
Yeah, no, I think he compliments us and my personality really well. He's super animated. Like, you could tell he wants to be here. You could tell he's like excited to coach us. He has a lot of experience and honestly, like, I look up every day. He's a recruit monster. I mean, every time I look up, he's with some 4 or 5. He's a really good. He knows how to do his job really well, and I'm looking forward to him carrying that into like practice and into, you know, day-to-day being here, because, you know, obviously they've been on the road a lot these past few weeks for, like, you know, recruiting and all. But when he is here, it's nothing but let's get on the board. It's nothing but let's get in my office. It's nothing but let's walk through some plays and stuff, you know, because I've been, you know, doing everything in my power to learn our playbook and be ready for my opportunity. And he definitely recognizes that, so there's a lot of time we'll spend, you know, going over those things, making sure I'm ready, making sure I'm clear on those things. And he definitely, like I say, he does a good job complimenting me and our guys on that.
Last one, Ira.
As a guy, and you talked about when you got to junior college, you had certain expectations, and then you had to kind of go through. What kind of mentality do you take into this now, having been through that? Like, I'm sure you want to make a big splash, make a ton of plays, be that guy, but also knowing it is going to be an adjustment. Like, how do you approach that mentally?
Yeah, no, definitely. It's definitely there's easy days and hard days. There's days that, you know, I might have, you know, let's say, like I said, I like to compete, right? So it might be a day where I run a slower sprint than, you know, somebody else in my position group. Obviously, I'm trying to work, right? And I just got to remember that it's one day at a time. It's really just a lot of adjusting. It's a lot of growing. It's a lot of competing with myself, really, because right now there's not much I can really do to establish myself. It's a lot, in the way I think about it, it's a lot of T-shirt Olympics. You know, there's only so much that can be quote unquote proven right now. So I'm just trying to do everything every day to be the best Florida State football player that I can be, so that every day, whether today, tomorrow, the next day, whenever T-Knight or Coach Nick or anybody has, you know, a question about scheme, like, they want to make sure I know the question, I know the answer. When I go out there and, you know, let's say X player in front of me is getting treatment, so they're not there for walkthrough. When I'm stepping up, I'm, you know, making my plays, I'm doing my things, I'm just doing I'm making sure that when my opportunity is there, I'm capitalizing on it. That's all.
All right. Thanks, Jalen. Thanks, Jalen.